What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Inside the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could hit that notification bell so you could be notified when we put out new content, that would be appreciated also. So this time we're going to unbox something that's been out for a little while, and it was something that I resisted because for me it's kind of a weird release, and that is the 2022 version, the revisited, remixed, and remastered version of Whitesnake'S Greatest Hits. And I'll get to it in a little bit why it's kind of weird for me that I finally purchased this, because it's not something I really needed at all. It's more probably just from, for me just to have as a collector. So the original Whitesnake'S Greatest Hits was released back on July 4th of 1994. Again, this re-release here is from this year, 2022. The original was released on Geffen Records, which is where they were for their mid to late 80s career. This re-release has been released on Rhino Records. So the original covered recordings, like I said, from 1984 through 1989. This new version still has coverage from those years, but also includes one song from 1994, or excuse me, from 2011. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have here. All right, so before I take the shrink wrap off, here are Whitesnake Greatest Hits. Flip over on the back, you've got the track listing as well as a random assortment of album and single covers. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right. Hey, doing pretty well with easy shrink wrap. All right, so let's just see here. 2 LP featuring Here I Go Again, Still of the Night, Is This Love, 16 tracks, newly remixed, limited edition, red vinyl. So that should be pretty fancy. And I don't know if this is any sort of special like Walmart version, but that is where I got it from. But it didn't have that like Walmart special edition sticker on the front of it or anything. So, all right. So without the shrink wrap, here is the front cover of Whitesnake'S Greatest Hits. Here is the back cover, and this front cover is pretty cool because it's I guess the word is embossed, where it's raised up on the cover there a little bit. It has texture and everything. I think that's embossed. If I'm wrong, I'll put the correct word at the bottom there. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. All right, so this is a gatefold. Oh, wow. Okay. So if we open up the gatefold, it looks like you have a series. It looks like there is, words from Coverdale, David Coverdale, regarding every song, probably inspiration, recording of different things, maybe some information about what went into the remixes and stuff. So that's really cool. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and take out what's in the first section here. All right, so the first thing we pull out is an insert that's got lyrics on both sides. Yep. And then we get to the record itself, which should be pretty fancy on this red vinyl. Ooh, and it is. It is. All right, kids. So there we go. Nice, cool looking red vinyl with a cool Whitesnake logo in the middle. If you flip it over to the other side, you've got the track listings for both sides of this particular record. So yeah, that's really neat. So I'm imagining, since it's red vinyl, that both records are the same. So we'll just see if there's anything else of note, in the second side over here that we need to look at. So give me just a second as I stumble and mumble through this part of the show. All right. So it looks like the other side just has the other record. There's no inner sleeve or anything with this one. The only thing I'll say about this second record, it's the same red vinyl, but there is a different Whitesnake sticker on the one side of this. That's kind of cool. And then if you flip it over, again, just the track listing for both sides. So that's pretty neat. All right. So let me get this reassembled here, and we'll talk about this for a minute and get into the reasons why I was hesitant to purchase this at first. So there it is. Just get this to stand up over here, and we'll discuss. All right. So, we could talk about reviews, but who really reviews a best of record? I guess you could bitch about what songs were left off and your personal favorites that weren't singles or hits or anything that you feel should have been on there, but who does that? So The original from '94 had 3 tracks that hadn't been released in America, and that would be "Looking for Love" and "You're Gonna Break My Heart Again" from the 1987 album era, and a song called "Sweet Lady Luck" from the Slip of the Tongue era. So this new one still has 2 of those 3. For some reason, "Looking for Love" is not included on this set, which is kind of sad because that's a really cool song. But I guess it's pretty reminiscent of "Is This Love," or whatever. So maybe they just didn't feel it needed to be included. I'm not sure. This new one, like I said, this actually covers all the way through 2011, as it has one song that wasn't from that 1984 to 1989 era, and that's a song called "Forevermore," which came out in 2011. So those are the major differences as far as the track listing between the two. Beyond that, I mean, it's pretty standard. All the hits and well-known songs from "Slide It In," 1987, and "Slip of the Tongue." This is the new remix version. So if you followed my channel or followed Whitesnake and Coverdale for the last several years, he's been putting out a lot of reissues, a lot of very well done reissues, various albums, the 3 albums I mentioned. As well as putting out some compilations and some different things, and going back and actually remixing all of those songs to make them sound, more current, with maybe more what the current versions of Whitesnake sound like. Which is kind of cool. At least that way you listen to a record or compilation, and everything sounds pretty unified, even if they're from different eras and stuff. So that's kind of neat. So that's what this is. This is all the remix versions. Now, the reason I was hesitant to buy this is because, again, if you follow my channel, I've done several Whitesnake unboxing videos. Last one I did was for the Restless Heart reissue, but I also did it for the Red, White, and Blues series, the compilations that he put out, that Whitesnake put out through 2020 and into 2021. And basically what this greatest hits album to me is pretty much it's a compilation of compilations. Like, this is a best of that Red, White, and Blue set, So again, when I saw it, it was like, ooh, look, a new Whitesnake record, and and I'm looking at it like, oh, I really want to buy this, and I'm like, but I really don't need it because I already have all this stuff. I already have all of these remixes on all the various other reissues and re-releases. So why do I want this? But for whatever reason, I was in Walmart the other day. I saw it again, and the spirit moved me. And I was like, you know what? Just to have it, just to have a complete set, or whatever. And, the completist and the collector I am, I went ahead and purchased it. So that's basically, the gist of, why, once again, I'm late to the party on an unboxing. There's a couple other things coming out later this year, like the Guns N' Roses Your Illusion box sets, the Kiss Creatures of the Night. If I get those, hopefully I'll be a little more timely with that stuff. But it is what it is. It wasn't something I initially wanted to get, but I got it, and it's just kind of fun to do these little videos and open it up. So I don't know if this release was done to coincide with what was supposed to be his final tour this year. That tour got underway in Europe, but before it finished and before it could come to America, where they were supposed to tour with the Scorpions, pretty much everybody in the band, I don't know if it was COVID or just other illnesses or what happened, but a lot of people in the band got sick on that European tour, and so much so that Coverdale had to scrap the entire thing, including the American run. So there's no word yet on whether or not he's going to try again next year for that final tour, or if we've maybe heard the last from David Coverdale as far as touring is concerned. If it is kind of a sad way to go out, you want to go out on top, not not have your last tour canceled because of health issues, but. Dude's in his 70s. I know his drummer Tommy Aldridge I think he's like in his mid 70s. So I mean, when you get up there, things happen. So who knows? Hopefully, I wouldn't mind seeing him one more time, before he goes out. But if he did, great career, between Deep Purple and Whitesnake and Coverdale Page and everything else, dude has had an amazing career and one of the best voices in the history of rock and roll. So if you're a casual Whitesnake fan and you don't want to pick up every single album they have, this is definitely a good way to go. Walmart had several of them, so pick this up. Whitesnake's Greatest Hits 2022, remixed, remastered, whatever the front cover says right there. So that's all I've got for you this time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe below. Hit that notification bell. I've got the rest of my Inside the Vinyl series where we unbox new releases. Sometimes we unbox new releases a little late. New box sets, new albums, reissues, sometimes even CDs, just depending on what's coming out. We also use this program to discuss lost classics and live albums. I've got some live footage out there from some different festivals and some other concerts, so check those out. And if you're into disc golf, I've got some mediocre disc golf footage starring some very mediocre players, myself included. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. There you go, boy.